Weekly Band Crawl. As promised, I am here with two members of the Groove Slayers. Very excited to have you guys come on the show. I have to tell you, so I went, I don't know if anyone knows this story, I think I told you. I went to Cafe Murano to pick up my check. We had played the weekend before you. There was something there and they had to give us a check later and I just didn't get a chance to do it. And I was driving home from somewhere and I had somewhere else to be. And I'm like, I'm going to pop in there, I'm going to grab my check, and I'm going to get out of here because I got to be over there. And I walked in and you were playing 25 or 6 to 4 when I walked in the door. And I went over, I got my check, and I'm like, I'm just going to sit here for a minute. This is pretty cool. I'm going to check it out, right? And so that was probably about 9 o'clock, maybe even 8:30. Yeah, probably about 9 o'clock. I stayed the entire night. I stayed the entire night. I was messaging my bandmates. I'm like, you got to come down and check this out. You got to come down and check it out. It is very rare. So for anybody who doesn't know, because you guys are fairly new, you have a horn section.
Yes, we do.
And for anybody who has seen, so I get comments on my band all the time, how do you fit on the stage at Cafe Murano? We are nothing compared to you. So you've got a saxophone, a trumpet, you're on trombone.
Yep.
Is there a second? There's one other horn, right?
Nope, just that.
Okay, the 3 horns. Then you've got your guitar player. Mm-hmm. You've got your bass player.
Yep.
You've got your keyboard player, who, by the way, comes in with an entire facility of his own. Like, he's the whole side of the stage is the keyboard player. So you got the keyboard player. You have your drummer, who fits in the corner, like wedged in between the DJ booth and the wall, and then like that's crazy. And then you have a female lead singer too.
Yeah.
And so, did I miss anybody?
No,
it's
8.
8 members.
Well, you missed our sound guy.
But he's not on stage.
I know.
It is incredible that you guys fit on that stage. So what I want to know is, well, I got a bunch of stuff I want to know.
Sure.
First of all, how are you corralling these 8 people? Like, are you all full-time Groove Slayers? Are you playing in other bands? Like, what's going on with that?
Well, no, actually, the beginning of this, I'd actually put together a folder of music that I wanted to do. I was gonna, this is my last time I wanted to put together a band, and then COVID hit.
Right.
And I had no place, nobody, so I just put it away. Well, the beginning of 2022, I'm thinking, I got to put together some people. So I actually play in 2 big jazz bands. Mm-hmm. And I started picking people out of those bands. Aaron, the guitar player, Gary, the bass player, Mike, trombone player, and just different people I started picking out. And we went through a group of people until we found this group that really is cohesive.
And we even brought people from other groups. So our original inception, we made some changes. We had some different singers. We had a different piano player.
Sure.
And then, we did our first gig in late February 2022.
Yeah. Okay.
Went back and watched it and we're like, okay, not bad. We can improve on some things. Did another gig in April. And then we decided to make some changes. And that's when we found our current lead singer on Facebook. Of all places.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, nobody knows her. She's new to town.
She's fantastic.
Hidden secret. She's amazing. And then we found our piano player who I had played with in a different group. So all of us, to Scott's point, like all of us play in different groups. Mostly jazz, but other, like our guitarist plays with everybody. I mean, he's always gigging,
and
shows.
Our trumpet player, I played with him.
Yep.
Actually,
he's one of the big bands in town too. The Orlando something, right?
Orlando Transit Authority,
That's
the big
it.
Chicago tribute band that Dave Martin.
I've seen him before, and I just couldn't place it.
He also plays with Epic. He plays with Finesse. He plays with. I mean, like
he just plays.
He's a hired gun.
Yeah, he's one of the first call trumpets in town. Like if
you don't know how excited I am to have him in the band.
Yeah,
his name's Bill Carmichael.
He's a bad man.
And he's played for Disney. He's played for Universal. And for me to get him in the band, a win.
Oh, yeah. And what was also interesting for me is you were at Cafe Murano. You're an 8-piece band to begin with. The horns are mic'd.
Yep.
All the horns are mic'd.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really well mixed. You guys were loud, but you weren't like, hey, you guys need to calm down. Right? It was totally acceptable, even for a 5-piece band. Yeah. Never mind an 8-piece band with horns.
Yeah.
Like, the sound is... I think the guy I met said he knows you from he's an audiovisual engineer.
Yeah. He's friends with our guitar player.
From, like, church or something.
Yeah,
he does sound at the church.
Yeah.
And he did a fantastic job. So do you always travel with a sound guy?
When we can. Obviously, certain venues, if they have it, then we use what they have. But whenever we can bring Ben in, we do, because he makes a huge difference. So the quality of our sound, and to your point, the mix, the levels, everything has been so much better since we added him. He is, as far as we're all concerned, he's a full-time member of the band now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with what you do, you kind of have to. I actually think a lot of the venues, Fredsters, Beaches, they'll every now and then say, well, we have our own sound guy. And we'll usually say, that's fine, but we're bringing ours.
Yeah.
Because they have to know what you play.
Yep.
What you do, how your stuff works.
Yep.
I thought he did a fantastic job mixing you guys out.
Thanks, yeah. That's great.
Now, is it a challenge? I mean, I'm in a 6-piece. I run my band as a 6-piece, and that's hard. Is it hard booking an 8-piece?
Can be a challenge, for sure. Some places are worried about the space.
Yeah.
Some places are worried about the noise. And obviously some places don't necessarily have budget. So we have been very strategic about trying to find places where we fit all of those criteria.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. So we talked before this, obviously, and so I know we talked about some of the venues. You'll say, look, our first time in, we can do $800, which is $100 a man. And what's been the interesting, by the way, it's worth every penny for all the bands. All these bands are super talented. It doesn't matter if they're a 4-piece, if they're an 8-piece. Yeah, it's hard work. It's years of practice, not negating the value.
Right.
But the bands have kind of like price fixed now, and said like, you know what, we're all charging $800. Now you have 8 members. That's a bargain because you're 8 members.
Yep.
But there's 4-piece bands. They're like, nope, we all charge $800.
Yep.
And I know the clubs, it's math for them, right? If they pay you $800 or me $800 or whatever, they've got to make, depending on what club you talk to, 3 to 5x.
Yep.
Right? So if they want $2,400 to $4,000 in registering to cover their cost on the band, the servers, the electricity, the overhead, the whatever, there seems to be a little bit of I don't want to say a war is brewing, but I want to say it's becoming harder for the clubs to justify booking the bands.
Right.
Right? And so when I went and saw you were packed at Marano's. Are you bringing those people with you, or like what's going on with that?
Yeah, so it has been an interesting phenomenon. We paid our dues early in the year, booking some underrate type places, and we built up sort of a following. And what we've noticed now is we have people that will drive to Apopka, to Maitland, to DeLand. They're following us around. Mm-hmm. And we've seen our following on Facebook, for example, grow exponentially, and we're really just kind of getting started. So yeah, it's definitely, we're bringing crowds with us, and we've noticed that we've had club owners come up to us after and say, oh man, there were so many new faces here that we'd never seen before. Nice. Which is great. So we're trying to bring value back to everyone that we partner with. I mean, we promote our shows heavily, not just word of mouth, but I mean, we're active on social media, and we're not afraid to tell friends and family, hey, you got to come out and see us too. But
pay your dues, right?
Right, exactly.
Now,
exactly.
But it sounds like a lot of your growth is just strictly organic growth. They come and see you. They're like, wow, this band's awesome.
Yeah.
And then they come back. And you definitely, I think you have a leg up in the sense that I don't know another band that's doing this, right? Like you have a real horn section. It's a very different mix of music. Like I said, I came in for 25 or 6 to 4. Then you did, is it Just the Way You Are?
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Yep.
And I always get their super music.
Yeah.
And then you did Don't Stop Believin'.
Yep.
And you did Happy.
Yep.
And like some of the, okay, so we have a great keyboard player. Carol's like fantastic. But it's always more energy and different to hear the horn section do it.
Right.
Than to hear a keyboard do it. Because it's just more, it's that big band feel, right?
Right.
And a lot of the songs that you were throwing horns in, they don't have horns.
Right.
There is no horn part in Don't Stop Believin'.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember some of the other ones, but you did quite a few that I was like, there's no horn part in this.
Right.
But it fit. And so you've kind of got a real unique vibe where, they either come and see you and hear that, or they don't, because the band up the street is not playing.
Exactly. And that was almost by design. And we talked about it.
Well, that was the thing. Once again, I grew up in a different area. I'm 59. So I grew up in the time of Motown,
Sure,
Earth, Wind and Fire, Chicago. Those are the bands I grew up listening to, and I'm thinking, I want to put together a band. I don't want to worry about what it's going to cost. I want to put together a band that I've always wanted to play in. And I've seen 1-horn bands, 2-horn bands, and I've seen 3-horn bands, but not that often in a local band, because people are trying to keep it down. But I thought, if I bring value, people will pay for value. I mean, I'm in sales. I don't want to be the cheapest, product. But what I want to bring is value to their club or to their venue, whether it's a wedding or whether it's a club of some time. I want to bring value, and it's working so far. I was hoping they would pay for value, not just okay. Well, we want to get it down to a duo and pay you $200.
Right.
I don't want
Don't call
that.
me, I'll call you.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing with that is we have specifically, to your point, put horns into songs that didn't have them before because we want our sound.
You're
to be
making it your
different.
own.
Exactly.
You're making it your own.
And so the thing is, when we get club owners that'll say like, "Well, can you condense to like a 5-piece?" And we're like, "No,
Right.
no, we would be just like every other band."
And you don't
We
have
wanna
a
be
big
different.
footprint.
No.
You really do not. I mean, I don't remember. Are you in ears on stage? I want to say
No.
Because I don't remember seeing. Oh, you know what? Your
We do have
monitors are on the
wedges.
floor.
Yeah.
But even still, to fit on that Murano's wedge, like you don't have a big footprint. What's interesting about the money, though, I have this discussion with my own band, right? So there's 8 of you.
Yep.
So you charge $800.
Or 9 if we have.
Let's just say you charge
Yeah.
8 because I went to law school to avoid math. So we're going with 8. So it's $100 a man.
Right.
You want to charge $1,000. Let's just say. Now you count your sound guy. You pay your sound guy $100.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're paying $900 anyway to do the show. If you get $1,000, everybody made enough to not even buy a Happy Meal anymore, courtesy of the economy, right? Everybody made an extra $9.
Right.
My debate, and admittedly, I don't play music for the money. I have a job so I can play music, because there is no music money in being a cover band. There's just not, right? There's actually a ton more money in the duo and trio thing than there is in the band thing. But anyway, I'd rather book the band 4 times a year at a club we like for $700 than book the band twice at $8.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't make enough of an economic difference to the band. If I'm covering $100 a man on each person, plus we have a sound guy too. If I'm covering, sorry, my phone's buzzing. If I'm covering that cost, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Are you guys? I know you do. You said $800 was your intro rate for clubs that haven't seen you before. $900 at a minimum because you're a 9-piece and you do need to make your $100 a man. What's your sticking point? Like, will you not play a club if it's not $1,000 and you've been there before? Like, is that just the price we're going to pay?
Depends. To your point, look, half of our band are working musicians. Half are probably working so they can do music as well, right? Like, he owns Music Shack in Longwood. Great music store.
Hey, I've been there. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where we rehearse.
I changed it up a little bit, but
Oh, I need to go back in there now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good enough. I'm sorry.
But yeah,
I mean,
so he owns his store. I'm in medical device sales. Some of the guys have, our trumpet player is a teacher, a music teacher at a high school.
so he's not making money anywhere.
Right, but he plays out. But he plays out a lot. So
I'm kidding.
but it's an interesting mix. To your point. So at the end of the day, we'll do what's right for the band, and we'll try and play places we like to play. We don't need to play everywhere. To your point, we're still just building up the brand, but eventually we want to kind of get to that point where, economically it makes sense for everybody, and we're doing what we want to do, where we want to do it, with the people we like.
Right. Oh, I think in your band in particular, you either all gel or you don't.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's 8.
yeah.
There's 6 of us, and my band wants to kill me once a week. I can only imagine. Now, are you running the band?
well, it's actually a collective. Mike here, me, and Aaron
Is the guitar
who's
player.
the guitar
Yeah.
player is I consider him a musical director because we're letting him run everything as far as, getting the music in the right place and getting the arrangements. If you think about it, it's hard to just stick horns without feel like you're forcing them into the song.
Right.
And you've heard us. It just feels like it's an
None of it
integral
sounded
part
that
of
way.
the.
Right.
It just felt like it was an integral part of the songs that we play. So Aaron has done a great job with that. Bill, the trumpet player, has also been very hey, we want to change the voicings here. We want to do this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's very important. So collectively, it's really Mike, me, and Aaron. We come together, we huddle together, and say, hey, this is what we think is the best in the band. Do we disagree? You bet. Do we find common ground? You bet.
Yeah.
And so we work together very well. What I like is the chemistry in the group.
Yeah.
You can see the chemistry on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah,
Everybody
we're all
had a
friends.
good time.
Yeah, everybody's friends up there, and that's what
Everybody
I
had he's a workman's comp hazard. Just so you know.
Well, yeah.
He's a workman's comp hazard. You're gonna have to you either have to get workman's comp or you have to have my rule, which is if you get hurt on the job, you're fired on the way down.
I'm gonna have to.
You need something.
It's the Red Bull. He'll do 3 to 5 Red Bulls, and then we'll start the
See,
game.
and that explains.
And I'm like,
He's jumping over monitors. He's, and I came to see you after a show, so I had my ambulance with me.
I love it. I love
Either
it.
way,
I love it.
It's
Yeah.
no, you can see the chemistry on
Yeah.
stage 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
We're just having a good time with people. That's the thing. Like, I don't like to play in groups where I don't like the people I'm with.
No, why
And
would you?
Exactly.
Why
And
would you?
that's some of these, some of these bands that get put together for events or different things. They'll hire this person, hire this person, hire this person. They'll do a good job, but the chemistry is not always there. That's what I love. Like, you can't fake that on stage. Like, you
Right.
either have it or you don't. And we're very lucky that we do. I mean,
Right, and you have to like your bandmates.
yeah.
It has to be more than even just the generic chemistry. If you're playing and we have chemistry and I hate you, you're gonna know. The crowd's gonna know.
Exactly.
Like you're gonna feel that. It was good to see how you guys are so, like, you guys clearly all like each other. Now, when Aaron puts these charts together, are you charting this stuff out, or are you sheet musicing out?
It's all sheet music.
So Aaron can just write the horn parts.
He arranges some stuff. We'll collectively find arrangements from different sources,
And then rearrange them.
rearrange them the way we want them. So we'll get like a base, almost like a real book cheat sheet kind of, right?
Yeah,
a
understood.
roadmap, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll arrange it the way we need to. We'll cut it up the way we want to. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's try this. So,
and to your point, you've made really good headroads. I mean, you play Post Time, you play Muranos, you're at the amphitheater this weekend, which
Yeah,
I
in
covered.
Apopka.
Yep, which is a very, very, very fun show.
Yeah.
And you got that show because the mayor himself saw you and was like, "Hey, you need to come play at the amphitheater." So kudos to you. Are you at Fredster's this week?
We are. Fredster's on Thursday night.
Fredster's at Thursday. I mean, so you've broken into it. You're playing Muranos.
Yep.
Did I cover everywhere
We hit Da Vinci up in DeLand.
3 Odd Guys Brewing.
3 Odd Guys.
I haven't been there yet.
Well, we're not playing there anymore for now.
Okay.
But they were kind of where we kind of cut our teeth. and
Originally,
gave
I
it our
saw
start.
the and it was different members originally, like to your point.
Yes.
But I saw photos from there.
Yes.
Okay, so know that. But it seems like you're breaking into some very good venues very quickly. Where do you want to go?
We would love to start hitting the coast more.
What, Daytona?
In Daytona, New Smyrna, down to Cocoa, places like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of great music joints over there that we would love to play at. Like Beaches and Hard Rock, Main Street Station,
Traders,
another one.
or Peanuts. I don't know.
Yeah.
I put this on the show this week. I don't know the Flagler Tavern's doing bands anymore.
Yeah, I
I heard
saw
they
something
came
with,
in the middle of last week.
Yeah.
During a
Sound
band
Theory.
set. Yeah, they came in
Yeah.
mid-set. We're like, hey, you guys are good. You guys can go home, and we're not doing it. And they've been playing there forever. The place is always full. That's not I don't think it's anything on the band. I know Tom, but maybe they're going the DJ route. But I was gonna say Flagler Tavern would be a great fit for you guys.
Yep.
I mean, so how are you getting the word out besides the weekly bankroll?
It's just been a lot of. We're still in our infancy, right? We started back in February.
Right,
so,
not even a year.
Right. So really, all we have is our Facebook page right now. We have a YouTube page. We have our Facebook page, and everything's been grown through there. And then a lot of like going into places, myself and Scott, trying to talk to whoever's booking bands, the grind, or just scouring the web, trying to find emails. We're working on a website. We're getting ready to shoot a promo video later this month. Fred's going to actually let us shoot at Fredster's.
Yep, he's very good
a different
about that.
night. Fred's awesome.
He's very good about
I
that.
love that place. Fred's awesome.
And
We
some
love
of
Fred
you
and
play
Adrian.
with him in Soul Function
Aaron is his guitar player
for
mostly.
Soul Function.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
And
Yep.
Bill has played with.
Bill's played there. Our trumpet has played with
Yeah.
him as well.
I mean, and I can tell you, he was the first big venue that we got to play that he let us in.
Yep.
And we played one night, we packed the house, and he goes, I want to book you for the rest of the year. I'm going to tell you, Fred has been a great friend to us.
Yeah, Fred.
Well, you're right up
huge
his
fans.
alley from a musical perspective. He's a fantastic drummer, runs his own band the same way you're doing yours. I mean, I watch him set up the folders with the music arranged by song for the different people. You played there the first time, and Morgan sent me a video and was like, I don't know who these guys are, but look. And it was mobbed.
Yep.
And then I think you were back there shortly thereafter, and it was mobbed.
Yep.
And so, I mean, you guys do a really good job of bringing a crowd out.
Yep.
You know.
And it's all been organic through Facebook. Like, we're getting ready to start the Insta thing and TikTok. And we want to tie it into a website when we eventually build it.
You know, the funny
after
thing
our
is
promo.
I find that the websites don't do much anymore.
Really?
On the
Okay.
band scene, it seems like it's all social media.
Yep. And
It
that's
seems
where
like
we've been
people
hitting mostly.
Really, it seems like we have a website, I think. I think I finished it. I think we have a website. It was outdated for a long time because members left during COVID and we didn't fix it. And so my band would come in and be like, you still have so-and-so on guitar. I'm like, I don't care. And then so I think I updated it, but I don't remember anymore. Anyway, you know, it's really the social that seems to drive it. It's almost like people look at, you know, this or on a Friday night, they're like, where are we going to go? And they, you know, they search the venue or the band, or they look at us or whatever, and they're like, I'm going here.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they Google, you know, local bands playing near me.
No, I
Like,
agree.
You just don't.
And we've gotten, now that we've been playing for a bit now, and you guys probably get the same thing, we'll get Facebook messages. Where are you guys playing
where are
tonight?
you?
Where are you this weekend? Where are you next weekend? And we're like, hey, here's, and I'll send them like a screenshot. Here's our schedule. Come see us.
Let me know what night you're coming. I'll buy you a drink. Come on
That's
by.
awesome.
Yeah, and you guys do have a good social media presence. And I feel like your crowd is probably, I don't want to say your crowd's older, but I think it is a little older than some of the people who would probably be looking on Instagram because you're playing Chicago.
Right.
You know, you're playing stuff that's older. Now, you have some new stuff too, but I mean, we've got a lot of...
we run the gamut, man, because we're throwing in Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake.
Uptown Funk was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Uptown Funk was
that's
awesome.
a fun.
I enjoyed that.
But Dua Lipa, things like that, we're throwing all that in.
Nice. Which Dua Lipa do you do?
We're about to roll out Levitating, and then You Don't Know.
We do Don't Start Now. It's
Yeah.
one of those...
No, Don't Start Now. I'm sorry, that's the one. Don't Start.
No,
that,
we're
we're doing
doing
that
Lev-
next.
Yeah, but we're doing
We're Levitating now, and then we're gonna
Nice.
have that one. It's in production.
Nice, nice. And so, I think it's great that you guys now. There's got to be. You're only since February. You probably know I ask every band this. With all those people and all those moving parts, there's got to be a funny story from getting to a gig and figuring something out.
So I will. So there was. I'll tell them. You know.
He's already smiling.
I
So
already know.
All right. So there was a gig at Three Odd Guys Brewing in Apopka that we were doing, and I was running sound because our sound guy couldn't come. So I had 2 iPads set up, right? Because I'm playing and singing off the one, and I had another one to control our mixer, our digital mixer. We use a Xair 18 Behringer, right? So I can control everything from the iPad. So we go through the sound check, and we've been having issues every time we play there. Three Odd Guys is like, it's like playing in a tin box with a concrete floor. There's just metal, glass, concrete. Acoustically, not a great venue for a band our size. It's going to put out a lot of heat, right?
Got it.
So we had gone through different theories. We're like, all right, so I had set it up, and everything sounded great at sound check. Great. I come back, I mute the mains. I come back 10 minutes later, I unmute. Nothing coming through the mains anymore. Nothing.
Whoa, okay.
Keyboards, everything's out, nothing, just a hum. So I'm in a panic because we're going on in 10 minutes, and I'm going, oh God, did the mixer die? Like, what's happening? What am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And so he's like, let's just restart
Let's
it.
just restart it.
Reboot it.
So he did. He restarts it, and then luckily everything came back. But I was paralyzed.
Right, what do you
because
do?
I was in a panic, a sheer panic, because I'm sitting there going, all right, I have to get the other mixer from the car. We're gonna have to redo all this. We're gonna have to.
And
So-
it's funny. I am the dinosaur in my band, right? Josue, me, and Mander, bass guitar, and me, are older. Dana, Ryan, I can't believe. Well, and Carol, I consider Carol younger. Carol's older too, but they're younger. And Ryan, our sound guy, is amazing. He plays guitar, he sings lead, he runs it. It's all digital. We have an X32.
Nice.
I don't know how to use it. I understand enough to get me through to do what I want. And so I'm always paranoid we're going to get to a show, we're going to fire this thing up, because we went and saw a friend's band at Dexter's. He had a Presonus board. Mm-hmm. He turns it on, it literally goes, Presonus, goodbye, and shuts off. And he boots it up again, PreSonus, goodbye. He wound up taking an analog mixer that was like a 4-channel and just wiring cables into oblivion to get his sound going. I am always terrified that something powered is going to die. And if we lose a speaker, fine. We have 5, 6, whatever.
Yeah, you can grab a wedge from the floor if you want.
But if your board boots up and says, I'm out, good luck. There's nothing. And we also have a digital snake that runs like off an Ethernet cable into that Behringer.
Yep.
So it's all that information powered from the snake into the network cable. Like there's no individual lines. And every time we turn that on for a minute, I'm like, please load.
Yeah.
And I want to carry backup in my truck, but you're talking $1,500 worth of mixer.
Yeah.
And $600 worth of board.
Yeah.
You know, snake rather. I just can't do it. So
I
feel your stress.
I carry a second XR. I have a second 18 in my car every time for that exact reason.
But you don't use the digital snake. You plug.
We don't have a digital snake. We have a snake, traditional snake. It's not digital, but so everything's still going plugged in.
I should actually throw a traditional snake in my my truck.
And well, we used to not. He was like, I think I have one at this. Like one day, just randomly, because there's cables everywhere, and he's like, I think I have one at the store. I was like, that would have been helpful information a few shows ago.
I found it.
You don't think about it. Well, you just said it now. You just said it now, and I'm like, actually, I'm pretty sure I got another 32-channel snake in the back somewhere. Like,
so that helped. That was helpful.
Right,
just
you solved
one
point of failure for me. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. So I'm very excited that you guys are doing so well. It's hard to book a big band, right? And I know you said you're looking at the Alley.
Yep, trying to get in there, talk to them.
And I heard you say you booked out at Tin Roof.
Yes, later this month, the 18th, Friday the 18th.
Now, have you loaded in there yet? I'm curious how hard a load in that is.
Well, they give the back line. They said they will even provide a drum kit. So, but it is hard. Aaron, our guitar player, has played there.
Okay.
And said it's a pain to load in. You got to wheel everything in on a cart from the parking garage. So, since there's sound and lights, that's going to make it a little easier. And if Buck wants to use their drum kit, really, the person I feel bad for is going to be Robert, our keyboard player, who brings his Armada with him.
His entire house.
Yeah, it's all there.
I was looking at
and he can't forget his hat either. I don't know if you noticed, but he's always got a hat on.
And I'm going to have to get a picture so you guys don't think I'm crazy. I walked in at Murano's, and there were the 3 horns on the side, on the curve. Then you, kind of in the front just past the column.
Yep.
Your female singer.
Yep.
Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Your bass player was parked in the corner against the window.
Sitting on the ledge.
Yeah, that's fine. Parked in the corner, sitting on the window. Your drummer was between the jut out and the edge of that black cabinet that houses all their restaurant equipment. And then in the middle of that, with like a fourth of the stage, was a house. Like, he had the keyboards and the side, and I was like, wow.
Full credit to Aaron on that, because we were originally going to put Buck, our drummer, in the middle there. And he was like, I think Buck's going to fit better in that corner. And it actually worked.
Buck is terrific, by the way.
Thank you.
He is really, really good. I enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah, Bucky's great.
He's very good. And I noticed even he was reading charts.
Yeah. So everybody in our band reads. Every musician reads. And that's why we have, it's kind of like Fred. That's why we have charts. Because if we need to bring a sub in, it's a lot easier.
So here's your chart.
Just read this. The cuts are already on it. Just do it. And we've had to, because Aaron's been out a couple shows. We had to bring in a sub guitar player. Ed Torres, nasty. He's great. I just had to have a sub last week on Bone for a gig at the Mount Dora Yacht Club. So, we've had a sub trumpet in a few times. It's just nice to be able to be plug and play. And we're all connected enough that we know enough great players on every instrument that we have. We're 3 deep, basically, at every spot.
I'm interested to see as you get bigger and more well-known. A lot of times each member of the band has their own following. Right? Like people come to see you because they want to watch you play trombone. I think you sang too.
And I play harmonica.
Okay, so they're going to come and see you. They're going to come and see Aaron. They're going to come and see you. They're going to, and when you start rotating people in and out, sometimes you get like the hired gun syndrome from the clubs. Right?
It's not been too often. Luckily, and hopefully it won't, but it's just nice to know that in those one-off situations we have people that can step in. But to your point, the magic's with the core, and so 100%. We want to try and keep the magic as much as possible.
And who's bringing that PA with him? Is that you?
He's got a PA too, but I've got it's mostly.
I bring monitors and small.
Yeah, it's kind of all. Yeah,
I take care of the wireless mics, some of the wireless mics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but most of the PA's mine.
But if you guys aren't there, do you just loan the PA to whoever's covering?
Yeah. Well, like he did. I was away this
I have
weekend.
my own full PA.
Yeah,
like
he's got
we just
another one.
did a gig at Mount Dora Yacht Club. I brought my PA. We sub for him and we sub for Aaron.
Was the new guy equally dangerous, or was
Oh,
he
that's
more...
great.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna tell you, every sub we have is a great sub. I'm just gonna tell you that I built this band. The reason that I built it with music is because I knew that the people I'm hiring are great players and they're in demand.
Right.
And if I don't have a way to get them in, I mean, then I have to turn around gigs, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to
Right.
bring people in and, be able to make a call. I mean, and he's right. We have 3 deep in every,
If we ever needed to. But it's even nice for rehearsal. Like, we don't have to worry about, 2 people are out this week, we can't rehearse. Because we
Right.
rehearse every week.
So do we for the most part, yeah.
And so it's just easy just to be able to, like, hey, that's a week we can bring in a sub to keep them fresh on the book, stuff like that. And then we just keep adding new charts and new tunes, again, we're just taking notes, add it to the book, people come in, they just sit, they read, they're good to go.
That's awesome.
I mean, because we got Ed ready in 2 weeks. We threw 75 songs at him and just said,
Well, if you can
"Here."
read,
Yeah.
I mean, you probably have the gist of what you're doing, and then you
Yeah.
can read the chart,
Yep.
and a lot of the local musicians read.
Yep.
Carol in our band read, Dave Mander reads.
It's awesome.
I think everybody in the band, in our band, does read, except maybe Dana and Ryan, because they haven't needed to.
Right.
They just haven't had a reason to do it. But we all sat through, high school band and college band
Yep.
and whatever, and had to read.
Yep.
Like I said, I think the band is awesome. And one more thing, I know it's not really technically band related.
It's all right.
How long have you had Music Shack out there?
I bought
It's been a while.
So this is kind of a weird story. So I worked for music stores for 19 years of my life. Then I took a little hiatus doing different things. And then I got laid off, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And so Ron Shulman, who was the original family who owned Music Shack,
Okay.
from 1972 until 11 years ago.
Wow, okay.
And what I did was I said, and what I did for all the music stores all these 19 years was I would take care of school bands,
Right.
high school and middle
Yep.
school.
Yep.
You know the ones, you sat in one.
I'm with you.
And so I bought the store in particular to change it into a school band and orchestra type store because Sam Asher's on the left, 2 of them. I've got Guitar Center. I've got all of these other
There's a bunch.
places that are doing. And so I started it. I bought it in particular. So we visit 90 schools a week. And,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Take care of band, high school, middle school.
Yeah, everything
band.
from reeds and all the way up to
Yeah.
instruments.
Yep.
See, I went to school to be a band director. I just decided, hey, this is not going to work out for me.
Got it.
So, I love doing it. I love working with the kids, the directors. I mean, I just, so that, as a plug for
That
Music
is
Shack,
awesome.
that's what we do.
And now, can they still come in and buy instruments from you? And
They
it's open
come
to the
in and buy
public?
stuff. I just don't have like combo stuff. I'm really concentrating on the kids. Can't buy a drum set for me. Can't buy a keyboard. Maybe 1 or 2 guitars I have on the wall. But really, what I'm about is,
Supply.
saxophone, clarinet, flute,
Band and
trombone.
orchestra.
It's all about band and orchestra now.
And do they do lessons there too?
We do lessons there as well.
Now that's probably also only orchestra driven.
No, I've seen Skid giving guitar lessons.
Actually,
there.
I have Skid Leffler there, who's a local legend as far as playing in the area. He's been here forever. A few years ago, he got hurt, but he's a great guitarist and pianist. Well, anything with strings on it, he can play. Ukuleles, 5-string banjo. He teaches bluegrass, you name
Nice.
it, he does it. Plus, he can play classical to jazz to rock, keyboard.
You do drums there too, right?
Yep, we have a drum teacher there as well. Saxophone,
awesome.
clarinet. So
And
that's
you're right by Shovelhead.
Yes, we're actually right in the plaza
By Wendy's.
behind Wendy's.
Behind Wendy's. I remember seeing the bum just for people who don't know where that's
Yeah.
at. Well, that is awesome. I did a small world.
Yeah, I
did not know
appreciate
that.
you asking me about
I
it.
did
Thank
no,
you.
absolutely. I did not know that, and I'm not playing this weekend,
Yeah.
which is rare. So you were on my my list to come by and check out. I'm very excited to do it. I hope you guys, if you're looking for something new to do, this is a very unique show. I think you'll have a great time. You'll dance, you'll sing, you'll have a blast. The band's phenomenal. If you're a club owner, you're looking to add something new into the repertoire, especially I guess out in the Daytona, maybe even Orlando if we want to go the other direction.
Yep.
I've personally seen the band. It's a great fit. They've got a great following. I mean, it's a you can send me a message through the band crawl. You can hit up Groove Slayers on their social media page. I'll add the link in our stuff when I post it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend. Awesome. I appreciate you making the time to get this done. Thanks for doing it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure.
You bet. Awesome. We'll see you guys out there this weekend.